Welcome to this week of digital marketing. Boy, I hope you're having fun. This is one of my favorite courses of all time. You know, people have been talking on the discussion boards. I've had a few phone calls, and please call me at any time. But they've been talking a lot about business models and how does that apply to, say, Web3. I think what you've got to do with this is not get hung up on the terminology. Welcome to anything technical. It's about acronyms, and frankly, I think it's about jargonism. When we actually look at Web 3.0, it's not even well defined yet, but here's the best way to think about it. Imagine when you go into Google and it kind of knows what you're thinking about. Is that a bit freaky? Hey, did you have a hamburger there last time, Paul? Maybe you might like to do that. It's taking what was the internet as more sort of like information and places you can get stuff from, and it's starting to think more like a knowledge, more like artificial intelligence, more big words. It really means it's getting to know who I am, okay? More personalized. If anyone's ever seen a show called The Matrix, where he walks into a shopping center and something reads his retinal scan. This is available right now, by the way. Somebody reads his, some machine reads his retinal scan, and as he's walking along, all of the advertising along the walls changes for him and what he likes. So kind of think about Web3 like that. But let's get on to more mundane things, okay? Direct marketing, and then email campaigns. Look, I'm going to use the same thing over and over and over in this course. Let's call it the unicorn factor. The hardest thing with anything to do with the web is that the web is so powerful that you've got to absolutely have an absolutely fantastic brand or product or something that has some sustainability, okay? So if you look at the Apple brand, you know, just that little apple with the bite out of it, hopefully everyone knows what that's about. That was a very interesting one. It was a guy that invented computers, basically, and he was so completely fascinated by Snow White, he ate a poison apple. Yes, I'm not kidding. So Google that. But when we look at direct email and things like that, often people are radically disappointed by the response rates. You know, the good old days, you'd send out, you know, physical direct mail and stuff like that, and you'd be lucky to get 1% or 2% of people that respond. So when I'm doing email marketing campaigns, I got to tell you, I would say in this day and age, I normally have something that's all about the subject header. If you don't get it in there and you put a great long email, you got to put yourself in the reading seat. Would you read 400 words to try and get the idea of it? No, you wouldn't. It's got to be different. It's got to look different. Frankly, if you could reward somebody for it, often we do what you call focus groups. And anyone that comes to the focus group gets a $5 Starbucks card. Is that a big deal? Yeah, it works. So I think whenever you're doing this, put yourself in the driver's seat. Email campaigns, I would say, I'd have an embedded video, I'd have something interesting there, I'd have some link to a topic that's happening today. More than anything, you've got to have in your email campaign, it's got to be concise, it's got to be catchy, it's got to be good enough to actually work with people who are reading it. Like for instance, if you send me something about ballet shoes, probably not going to work too well. If you send me something about, I don't know, cryptocurrencies and things like that, I might just read it. I might even read the whole thing. I may watch a video. I'm not going to read 400 words. Unfortunately, we're not going to do that. The other side of this is that whenever you're doing anything in anything to do with digital media, you don't just do it in one forum. Okay, so think about LinkedIn. I don't know who uses LinkedIn there. If you don't and you want to get a job, you better use it. So in LinkedIn, when I send out a LinkedIn, I don't just send it out to me and my friends, right? All of my, you know, thousands of people on LinkedIn. No, I actually link it to Twitter. And then from Twitter, I have a tweet suite where I send it out on a whole bunch of different platforms. There's all sorts of things, Hootsuite. There's a way to get media out. For instance, You can always link one to the next, or you can amalgamate it with like Hootsuite and these other things like that. My point is, right, that every piece of media, this goes way back into marketing, the early days of marketing, but they sort of call it the 9 faces of one piece of content. And what do I mean by that? Well, when we used to do press releases, the piece of the press release of releasing some wonderful new product, part of that could end up in a cut sheet. Cut sheet meaning just like a very short brochure. That could then end up on a website. That could become part of a brochure. It could become part of a video. You can use the same content and concept many, many times. And with the email campaign, it's like anything. You've got to have a call to action on it. For instance, if I do an email campaign and I really want someone to join a webinar or do something like that, well, I'll actually put an invite where they just have to click the button, then it's in their calendar. Is that a big deal? Well, think about it yourself. Wouldn't you do that? The point is, have a look at this, and above all, think about that unicorn. A, how is your email, whatever you're sending out, like your blog, how's it going to be different? But I want you to think even harder than that. I want to think for yourself. Are you actually showing your uniqueness, your sustainable competitive advantage? I mean, on a personal brand situation. Yes, we're doing digital marketing here, but us marketeers, quite often we forget that we should be marketing ourselves. Anyway, thank you very much, and I'm really enjoying this, and feel free to reach out at any time. I'd say in general, the work has been good, but as I said in the last video, be like a reporter, meaning be articulate. This isn't about talking around a water cooler or talking at the football match. Try and send me stuff like, I'm your boss, I'm going to give you a promotion. And think about how you might write it if you did that. So you've got to be like a reporter, really get some facts in there, right? Not just some conversational answer. You'll pass if you just, you answer the questions, you do the requirements. But if you really want to change your life, right, answer it like it really matters, okay? And then back it up with some sort of support. Like saying something without the support of data, it's interesting, but you support it with some sort of a citation, it becomes a very powerful argument. It's hard to argue, right? The last thing is, recommend like a consultant. Really have your confidence about yourself. Link whatever you're recommending to whatever you identified as a reporter and whatever you analysed and supported like a lawyer. And now all of a sudden you present that, and then I'm going to tell you something. This will become way more than just a digital marketing course for you. You'll start going to meetings at work and you'll start thinking, wow, people are sort of treating me differently. Imagine if you go to your boss, and I'll close on this, and you say, oh, I'm sick of this place. Nothing ever works here, and it's just absolutely ridiculous, Tony, how we keep doing this stuff. Well, imagine if you say, hey, Tony, can I have a couple of minutes of your time? Sure. Well, let's go in over there where it's a little quieter. Yeah, what's up, Paul? What do you want to talk about? Well, listen, what have I identified? I've identified a couple of challenges in our organisation here. And what I do, I reference those to a couple of other things, these particular articles that I've seen out there from other companies that have had kind of the same problem. What I'd like to do is recommend a couple of solutions to you. Now, you might be sitting there saying, oh, my manager's never going to listen to that. Possibly. But you know what? As you get into the practice of this, you might be asked this in a job interview one day, and you might think, I might just remember what that crazy guy in digital marketing said. And you might be surprised that the people on the other side, that manager may not change the practices in the organisation, but he might look over at you a little bit differently and go, all that guy ever did before was complain. Now he's bringing me solutions. Anyway, thanks a lot, and keep having fun in digital marketing.